Thank you for joining with me. We are in the Prelude and we are picking up our reading on the wrong mind ego separation. The ego, the tiny mad idea, and the split mind. What seemed to occur in that instant that never really happened was that the mind of Christ appeared to split, and there arose a mind that contained the separation thought. This comes to be known as the split mind, now separate and distinct from the mind of God and Christ. This split mind, true to its source of separation, keeps on splitting. As the mind of God can only love eternally, extending love, the separation thought can only separate, and so does instantaneously and in a most frenetic and agitated manner. Allegro agitato. The split mind splits into three parts. We will see later how it subsequently splits into an almost infinite number of fragments. But for the time being, we will focus on these three original parts. Let me reiterate that this is all a myth, that everything we are discussing, indeed everything on the chart, is made up, expressing what never arose within the mind of Christ. The chart is an attempt to put the thought system of A Course in Miracles into schematic form, a linear way of describing what the Course presents non-linearly and symphonetically. While this grand cosmic myth is perhaps our best way of identifying the experience of being here, it is important to keep in mind that nothing here is true, including the chart that attempts to depict it. The split mind divides into the ego thought system, the wrong mind, and the Holy Spirit's thought system, the right mind. These represent two contradictory and mutually exclusive ways of looking at the tiny mad idea. It is important to note that the ego and the Holy Spirit are thoughts, two different ways of perceiving, understanding, and reacting to the thought of separation. Since there are these two systems to choose between, there must inevitably be a third part of the split mind to do the choosing. This part is never designated by name in the Course, but is clearly implied throughout. We have called it the decision maker. It is to this decision-making part of the mind that Jesus continually appeals, and whom he addresses, choose again, choose between the ego and God, crucifixion and resurrection, judgment and forgiveness. This part of the mind is shown on the chart by the black dot between the ego and the Holy Spirit, when Jesus refers to us in our separated state as the Son of God. He is referring to the Son who has the power to change his mind. In this context, then, the Son of God is really a synonym for the decision maker. We will learn much later on in the Course that it is this decision maker that has fallen asleep and dreamt a dream, meaning that the decision maker, the Son of God, could also be equated with the dreamer. Once we recognize the horror of the ego's dream of separation, we shift to our right minds and ask for another way of looking at it. The dreamer becomes the observer, allowing the decision maker to choose whether to continue to sleep and dream or see itself as the dream's dreamer. The way out of the dream is for our decision makers to look at what they are dreaming. We could thus say that the decision maker is the dreamer when it follows the ego, and the observer when it follows the Holy Spirit. And I'm going to go ahead and stop there today, and we will pick up the reading tomorrow. I love you. Thank you so much. And I'll go ahead and leave the chart at the end of this reading if you want to look at it again. Thank you.